Do you feel like your friends are not there for you like you wish they were? Let's talk about it. Now, this video is a little different because it's not about the so-called bad friends that are red flags, the ones who cross our boundaries, who never support us, who make everything about them. It's not about those guys. If you do have relationships like that in your life, I would strongly encourage you to work on your self-worth because you deserve more than that. This video is about how to create healthy attachments with our good friends so we don't cling to them and end up pushing them away. Some people accidentally get overly dependent on the validation of their friends, their families, and even their partners. Oftentimes with those people, stress, anxiety, and even depression happens if they are not reassured about their connection with a person or even reassured in their emotions that they're feeling. And this could be rooted in just one or even many psychological experiences that they had in their life. They may have experienced abandonment in the past and they have this subconscious feeling that they may lose people, so they have to cling to them to keep them in their life. They may have an anxious attachment style, always worried if somebody is going to leave them. They may think of themselves as lesser and have a low self-esteem, constantly worried about if they're worthy or not for even having that connection with someone. It may even be rooted in a fear of control. If they feel like life is slipping away, they're going to feel like friendships and relationships could slip away. So by either clinging or seeking reassurance from their friend, it's closely monitoring them so they feel like they won't lose them. It could also be dependency. If somebody does not work on their self-affirmations, knowing that they are lovable because they exist, they are valuable, and they are worthy, they will continuously seek it externally. And when they don't get it, they may feel very lonely. It could be a lack of self-sufficiency. Not that they can't physically do things for themselves, but emotionally, they need that external validation. That reassurance will make them enough. It could be growing up and not being taught how to deal with their sadness and their anxieties and all of their uncomfortable feelings. So they need somebody else externally to tell them that what they're feeling is okay. It could be a learned behavior, whether it was too much validation from external sources, so they're seeking it, or it could be none at all, so they are seeking it. So they may have never been taught how to self-soothe when they're feeling really uncomfortable emotions. And another very big factor could be loneliness. When someone often feels lonely and tries to seek external validation for that loneliness void, it could be a lack of self-love because they don't enjoy their own company. Becoming aware and understanding the root cause of why we are seeking reassurance, why we feel uncertain in our healthy relationships, why we feel the need to cling to external people is the key to healing it. Now, if you're someone that needs that reassurance from a healthy friendship, or maybe you are the healthy friend and know someone that seems to be clinging more to you. Other than counseling, which I always strongly suggest, here are some tips to help you soothe your emotions and help you on your journey. Number one, build a relationship with yourself and learn how to become your best friend. Because if you are having a hard time enjoying your own company and being alone and validating yourself, you are continuously going to need to do it externally. So first, start journaling. And in your journal, become aware of how you're talking to yourself. Learn how to have compassion for yourself and be grateful for you. Something that I suggest to people who have a hard time dealing with themselves is the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's an ancient Hawaiian saying that says, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you say that to yourself every day. Number two, practice mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is not necessarily meditating every day. It's just using all of your senses to their full potential. Set yourself times every day to go outside or look out of a window and use every sense, like hyper focus. What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you see? What do you taste? Use them all and connect with yourself. Do body scans. So ask yourself, what are you physically feeling? First, start on your feet. Do you feel a tingling sensation on your hands? Without judgment, because oftentimes people will do this and start criticizing the pains in their body. Just become aware of what you're physically feeling. Number three, daily affirmations. Now, I know this one is controversial because people don't believe in it, but I strongly do, because not only did it work for me, it works for my clients. You are reminding your conscious mind of what your subconscious already knows. When you were very young, you didn't think badly of yourself. You were just experiencing life. But as you got older, there are things that you started to believe about yourself. So all you are doing by doing affirmations is untraining all the negative stuff that you say about you. I am lovable because I exist. I am worthy. I am valuable because I exist. I matter. My feelings matter. I am learning to become my best friend and be kind to me every day. Number 4 or 5, I'm not sure. Set some healthy goals for yourself. The reason I say healthy is oftentimes we set these really big goals that we never want to achieve because we end up getting too tired to do them. So do small goals. Go to the dollar store, pick up some paint and a paper, and just paint. Put on some music, dance. Do everything to reconnect with you. And these activities should not involve social media or anybody external. This is just you spending time with you. Finally, the hardest one, practice being alone. Being alone means putting your phone away and being bored. Sit in the boredom. And while you're sitting, all the thoughts that are coming up, validate them. Don't push them away or don't dwell in them, because oftentimes we'll have these thoughts that come up and then we're like living in our own mind. See yourself as your best friend and the observer of your thoughts. So when you have a thought that comes up, validate it. And if you find yourself spiraling into that anxious and sad thought, and you're going to usually feel like wanting to call someone at that point, I would encourage you to write it down on a piece of paper so you are seeing it externally. Oftentimes, when we have a reoccurring thought or a reoccurring emotion, we don't realize that we may be addicted to them, which means those things are benefiting us in some way. If something unhealthy is benefiting you, it's oftentimes because the opposite of that thing, that thought or that feeling requires change. A change in behavior, a change in habit. Maybe all this time you have been struggling to seek external validation when that validation is within you. You are enough without anybody validating that you're enough. You are lovable and you are worthy without anybody validating that you are lovable and worthy. If you learn to become your best friend and enjoy your company, you will stop feeling so lonely. You will learn to release control, release the sadness, release the anxiety. And then your relationships, your friendships, your family, and your partner just become a bonus. You no longer need them in your life, but you are happy having them. You start fostering healthier relationships, more positive relationships. You know how to set boundaries with the toxic red flag ones. It's okay to want external validation, but when you are borderline on needing it, because without that, you are not enough, you need to find that enoughness within you.